Time doesn't forget, and neither does love. Just when you think the past is settled, it rises again, bringing with it a name long buried: Faith. The highland mist rolls across the mountains like a memory too old to fade. A distant bell tolls. The wind carries the scent of heather, and something more, something lost. Time has always played by its own rules in the world of Outlander, and just when Claire and Jamie believed they had seen everything time could steal from them, it begins to give something back. Season 8 isn't just another chapter. It's the turning of a full circle, the final path, the final choice. We open not with war or love, but with silence. A silent cradle, an empty room, a memory, so painful that even Claire never dared speak it aloud again. But time has a cruel kindness. It reveals what was once thought impossible: a flicker in the mirror, a whisper in a dream, a name spoken in a child's voice. Faith. For those who remember, Faith was the child Claire and Jamie lost in Paris. A baby born too early, held for only a moment but carried in their hearts for decades. Her story was one of sorrow, a thread cut too soon. But now, somehow impossibly, it begins to weave again. The first clues are soft and strange. Claire finds a letter tucked into an old book, written in handwriting that shouldn't exist. Jamie hears a child laugh in the forest, though no one is there. Roger dreams of a girl who knows things no one should. Brianna feels a pull in her chest, a sense that someone is missing from the picture of her family, though she doesn't know who. And then, a journal appears. Old, leather-bound, worn by time. Claire turns its pages with trembling hands. Inside are drawings, sketches of Lallybrook, of Fraser Ridge, of herbs only a healer would know. Notes written in 2 languages, French and English. A child's handwriting, yet wise beyond its years. One entry stands out. They say I should not exist, but I do. And I am looking for you, Mama. Claire drops the book. This is where the
storm begins. Because in Season 8, it is no longer just about the past or future. It's about everything in between. The space where time folds, bends, and breaks. The space where lost souls wait for a second chance. And Faith
might be the one soul who refuses to be forgotten. With the return of this mysterious force, everything the Frasers thought they knew is questioned. How can a child who died now be alive? Is it time travel? A ghost? A trick of the mind? Or something greater? This season won't answer everything right away, but it will ask the questions that matter. Can love defy time? Can the dead find their way back to the living? And when they do, what price must be paid? At first, it's just the little things. Claire begins waking from dreams she can't explain. Not the usual visions of war or loss. These are different, softer. A pale room with white walls and flickering lights, the sharp smell of antiseptic, machines humming quietly, and always, a little girl's voice calling from just beyond. The doorway, she never sees her face, just the feeling. A bond so strong it steals the breath from her lungs. Jamie sees it too, not in dreams, but in the woods near Fraser's Ridge, a blur of movement just beyond his reach, the sound of bare feet running across frozen ground, a child's giggle that fades into the trees. He calls out, but there's no answer. And yet when he returns home, there are muddy footprints by the back door. Tiny ones. They try to explain it. The mind plays tricks. They've lost so many. Maybe grief has come back in a new shape, but the signs keep coming. They're no longer just coincidences. In Wilmington, a healer speaks of a girl who arrived mysteriously, alone, confused, wearing strange clothes. She carried no belongings except a silver cross engraved with a name, Faith Fraser. Claire's hands tremble when she hears it. It can't be. It's impossible. But then comes the photograph, delivered in an unmarked envelope. A grainy image of a hospital ward taken sometime in the late 1960s. In the corner, half turned toward the camera, stands a girl no older than 10. Her hair is copper blonde. Her eyes are violet. She wears a hospital gown and clutches a journal to her chest. On the back of the photo, scrawled in child's handwriting, "Do you remember me now?" Claire drops the picture. She stares at the wall, her heart racing. She has never told anyone, no one alive, about the color of Faith's eyes. Jamie sees the photograph and goes pale. He knows that look. He's seen it once before, in the lifeless face of the baby they buried in Paris. Now that same face stares at him from a photo taken 200 years later. Brianna begins experiencing headaches, sharp flashes of memory that aren't hers. Places she's never been, people she's never met. And in the middle of it all, a voice whispers over and over, "Sister." Roger tries to make sense of it through logic, but even he can't deny the patterns. Time isn't just fractured, it's folding in on itself, as if something or someone is forcing it to loop, to correct, to return what was taken. And then the journal reappears. The same one Claire found weeks ago, but now it contains more entries, new pages that weren't there before. The ink is fresh, the handwriting the same. But now, the entries are directed at them. "Jamie, I saw you in the forest. You almost saw me. I'll try again. Mama, please don't be afraid. I don't know how I'm here, but I'm trying to find you. Brianna, you're not alone. I remember you singing to me before I left." The family gathers in silence, the journal resting between them. No one speaks. No one dares to breathe. Because in that moment, they all know. This is real. Faith. Whether through magic, time, or something beyond human understanding, is trying to return. But how? And why now? That's the question that drives the rest of Season 8. Her appearance is not just a miracle, it's a warning. Because wherever Faith walks, time bends. And something else is following her. A force not of love, but of chaos. The stakes are no longer just personal, they're universal. As the Frasers prepare to search across time itself, they must face the truth. If Faith has returned, then so too may everything they tried to leave behind. And time, ever fragile, may finally break for good. It begins with a sound no one has heard in years, a faint crying echoing from the old part of the house. Claire wakes in the middle of the night, heart pounding, the sound pressing into her like a weight. She follows it, candle in hand, the flame flickering with every step. The sound leads her to a locked trunk in the attic, a trunk that hasn't been touched since they arrived at Fraser's Ridge. Inside, Faith's baby blanket, still folded, still holding the scent of lavender. But here's the impossible part. The blanket is warm. This is when everything starts to unravel. Claire, Jamie, Brianna, and Roger gather around the table, piecing together every strange clue. The photo, the journal, the sounds, the dreams. They know it can't be coincidence. The only question now is how, and who else knows. That's when Roger stumbles across something buried in the Reverend Wakefield's old papers, a map dated 1772, with an area circled deep in the Carolina woods. A handwritten note beside it reads, "Temporal rift, not stable, avoid at all costs." Underneath, another line, barely legible. One made it through, the child. Suddenly, everything clicks into place. Faith didn't just return. She crossed, over, through a tear in time, an unstable passage no one thought still existed. But if she made it through, what else might have? The timeline is bleeding. Storms begin forming in places untouched by weather. People in the ridge speak of seeing their dead loved ones, of hearing voices from the trees, of visions that flicker like old film reels, men in redcoats riding through modern-day fields, women in 18th century dresses standing in electric-lit kitchens. One man says he met his younger self in the forest and ran from him. He hasn't spoken since. Even Jamie, steady as stone, begins to falter. He stands in the stables one night and sees Dougal Mackenzie, alive, whole and staring at him with eyes full of hatred. But when he blinks, the man is gone. Just an echo, or a warning. The timelines are overlapping now, layering like pages in a burning book. Claire begins to fear that Faith's return might not be a gift, but a trigger. A fuse lit in the very heart of time. She finds a final note in the journal. It's written hurriedly, like someone trying to outrun something. I'm not the only one who came through. There's another. He's looking for me. He wants to fix the past, but not the way you think. They realize that someone or something is hunting Faith. A traveler with knowledge of the time rifts, using them for his own ends. Not to heal the past, but to rewrite it. To erase the Frasers, to break the line. Every step they take now is a race. Not just to find Faith, but to protect time itself. Because if the rifts fully tear open, the 18th century won't stay in the past. The future won't hold. Everything will collapse into one timeline, one reality, ruled by whoever survives the chaos. The battle is no longer against war or politics or loss. It's against time itself. And the key to it all is a girl who never should have lived, and who now holds the power to save or destroy the very fabric of their lives. As Jamie says, standing at the edge of the rift, she's not just our daughter, Claire. She's the thread holding time together. And the thread is starting to fray. In a clearing where the veil between past and future is thinnest, she stands, alone, barefoot, still just a girl, and yet carrying the weight of centuries. The wind moves around her like it knows who she is, like time itself is listening. Her violet eyes scan the trees. She is waiting for someone, but whether it's her family or something darker, even she does not know. This is Faith, not a ghost, not a memory.